Right here on the app side at Channel Africa 1. We're about to have a conversation about the Recording Academy because we have an African voice, a Zimbabwean voice that has just been added to the Grammy Awards, but in particular to the Recording Academy 2026 new member class. We are chatting about Usher Takudzwa Nyambi. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the app side.
Good afternoon, Popsy. Pleasure for having me here. I really appreciate this opportunity and shout out to Channel Africa. I really believe in what you guys are doing, taking
Aww.
content to the continent, and yeah, a big African voice.
So,
Shout out to
so basically, we
you.
can claim you that we are of EGOT status because that's where you are, right? So we can claim that.
I think I'm walking among stars as I'm sitting here in this chair.
Aww.
Like, it's such an honor to be here.
You are the star. Chat to us about some of the work that you've done because you've been an editor of even Rolling Stone Africa, but you also have your own platform, which is, of course, Samora Central. What has been a journalist in the industry, in the creative industry, you know, as an African taught you about what's happening in the world right now when it comes to African entertainment?
Well, I would firstly say that Africa is global. Whatever is local has the possibility to go global. If we think about Amapiano, Afro beats, Le Compo, all of this, that African stories in their purest form are authentic and they have the
Sure.
possibility to grow global. And I've been seeing that a lot lately in just how African fashion's been celebrated, African art's been celebrated, African music's been celebrated. And I think we need to also see ourselves as part of the global conversation. I work in Rolling Stone Africa. I was the Southern African editor,
Come on.
worked
Come
on
on.
amplifying a lot of the stories from Southern Africa to the world as well. But we weren't really looking at it from like the world needs to know about Africa, but we were actually telling our stories as they happen. And in the process, we're inspiring the world. And I think that right now it's such an exciting period of time. I always say this, thank God for the internet, because
Mm.
in real time, if we're having this interview here, I'm seated in Harare. You guys are in Johannesburg, but then someone in Senegal, someone in Abidjan, someone in Cairo can see this in real time, all because of the internet. So I think my work is mainly centered around that storytelling of African perspectives as well. But mainly, I think something that I'm really curious about is uplifting African youth. And the next chapter, I think, is centered around education. You know,
Mm.
right now I'm
Oh.
working on my own agency, Samora Central, which I founded, and we've managed to do a lot of work across the continent, helping big initiatives and festivals like Sauti za Busara in Tanzania, working with properties like Mozambican Fashion Week, Zimbabwe Fashion Week, the British Council, the US Embassy, and we continue to expand and put our mark on the culture through just facilitating programming, public relations, storytelling, and also educational platforms that also inspire African youth as well.
I think let's talk about even the creative strategist element of you, because I feel like that's really the core
Yeah.
of storytelling and taking our African stories to the world. What distinguishes us, especially to the world? Yes, we're on a stage, but what should we be doing as Africans to amplify the African story?
I think that what I think is in Africa, we have so much story. There's so much of our cultures that has not been told yet. 54 countries with various ethnicities as well. I'm thinking of that as from a content perspective. How many African stories can we tell, you know? And I think our biggest strength really is the ability for us to do so much with so little. I often hear the conversations about sustainability being a global buzzword word right now. But if you look at us Africans, we are sustainable by nature. We have the ability to do a lot with very little, and also the ability to learn, the ability to be industrious. And this is the type of thing that's in our DNA. We are proactive, and I think that maybe something that is missing is that infrastructure that helps support the artists in doing what they do. I think in this, South Africa is leading the continent when it comes to maybe the film production industry, the music industry, and how they've sort of managed to create an ecosystem there. And I wish the same could be replicated in several markets across the continent. And I think that when it comes to African talent, the African creativity, there is no shortage of talent. I think sometimes what is difficult is the infrastructure, the access to funding, the skills, the networks, and that's something that I think, as a creative and also as a leader in the arts, is how can we facilitate the growth and the access for more people in the industry. So basically transforming it from an ecosystem where it's been centered around one person to an ecosystem where collectively we can thrive and shine as a continent.
Speaking of thriving and shining, time for us to switch the spotlight and put it on you. Takudzwa, you have just been named as part of the 2026 new member club at the Recording Academy. Chat to us about that and what that nod and recognition means, because it is on a global scale.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for that. It is indeed an honor to be part of the Recording Academy, most notably famous for their work behind the Grammy Awards. And I think
Really?
it has always been my goal or my mission to make sure that Zimbabwean creativity, African creativity, is represented in all the rooms that matter when it comes to the creative economy. Because what happens when there's representation, that means that there's also that diversity and that consideration in terms of certain decisions being made from those bodies as well. So I've joined the institution as a professional member, and currently I'm trying to facilitate my travels to be able to attend the Grammy Awards ceremonies next year. But beyond that, I think networking opportunities and a lot of room for professional growth as well. And I think that it is something that I've really been intentional about, just being able to cross over into different territories, and also while I'm there, opening the door and like helping and facilitating other African talent to do the same. And I think one thing that I've realized is that when we, like, for example, when you see a Trevor Noah host The Daily Show, or you see Tuso Mbedu having a Hollywood blockbuster, or you see a Black Coffee in Ibiza, or a Tebe Magugu at Fashion Week, what that does is it shows you, the young African child, that it is indeed possible. And I think, if anything, the work that I do really is to inspire young Africans and to show them that, like, you could be coming from Zimbabwe, you could be coming from Nairobi, you could be coming from Gaborone, but if you, in any space that you see yourself in, you can achieve it. And I think that I'll stress again the point of the digital economy and where we are, and the way that they say light moves faster, but I think content moves faster. So like whatever you're doing, the world is watching, they're paying attention, and one day you will live out your mood boards per se, or like your goals and your what you wish to do. Yeah.
Honestly, if we can't fit in your suitcases, I don't know at this point, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you?
So you could find me on LinkedIn at Usher Takudzwa Nyambi, and you could also find me on Instagram at @_Nyambi, or you could find me as well on my email, ushertakudzwa@gmail, and my phone number is 0775. Sorry, I think there are technical difficulties.
We'll find you. Usher Takudzwa Nyambi, hanging out on the upside on Channel Africa. An incredible human being and doing amazing things in global entertainment. We are so proud of you. Shout out to you and to Harare. We are so super, super proud of you. It is 3:30 on the upside. Time for us to get a sports update from Zycon. WAFCON Fridays. What you got, Ma?
Sports on Channel Africa.